Welcome back to Cube Studies One-Point Perspective. Today's exercise is projecting overlapping volumes and foreshortening. We are working on worksheet number 4. In the same way, we have a formula at our bottom, and in this particular case, we have H equals W. So we'll be drawing a cube. And with our cube and our handy-dandy measuring device, we are going to measure the width, and that will equal our height. Oops, forgot which one it was here. First two. And we're going to make that our height. Now, in this particular case, we have our vertical. We're going to put in our vertical line for our height, our horizontal line for the top of our cube, or our object in this case. And then we are going to do the right vertical, and that will give us our front face. And remember, we always draw our front face first. So the next step is to draw from each corner back to the vanishing point. So top right, bottom right, top left. Oops, slipped. See, slips happen. Top left and bottom left. Now, in this particular case, we have some very unique things happening. And you see that each one of these footprints align with the front. So if the base aligns of all of our footprints, then our top piece also aligns. So let's draw that first square lightly, or that first cube lightly. So that's our depth of our right side. And then we're going to do our horizontal for the back. And then the vertical should connect relatively close. There we go. And that's our first cube. Now we have 3 cubes beyond that. So now I'm going to go to the second cube. And because the bottoms all align, the tops will also align. So I can draw my vertical of the second cube. Draw the front face, just like always, and then down to align with the footprint. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to have a lot of lines on top of a lot of lines. So sometimes that takes a little while to kind of visualize, but we're going to draw them all first before we do any of our ink work. So this is our back corner of our second cube. So we have cube 1, cube 2. Now we're going to go to cube 3. Now I suggest you draw one face at a time. If you try to do more than that, then what happens is we start to confuse which line goes with which cube. So there's the front face of the third cube. Now I'm going to draw the back face. That would be the left side of the third cube, across the top, and then align with the back footprint coming straight up. Now we have one more cube to go, and this is the last one, so we still draw the front face exactly the same way. And you can see I'm getting an awful lot of lines going on here. That's why I'm going to keep them nice and light. So that's the front face right here of the back cube. And now we're going to draw the left side, horizontal for the top, and then down to match the horizontal to the vertical. All right, so lots of lines going on here. Can be very, very confusing. So when I start to ink, I'm going to ink from the back side coming forward because the front ones are going to overlap that. So if I can get an idea of what I can see, which is here, here, this is that back cube. So I've just drawn the left side. Now the top face, top corner, and then I'm going to stop right when I run into the next cube. So that's what I see of that back cube. Now I'm going to draw the next one in front of it. So there's my left side. My top. My right side, and then down until I hit the next cube. So you can see that each one of these are going to run into the cube in front of it. Now don't worry if you make a mistake and draw a line in the wrong place. You can always white it out, or you can make another copy of this exercise and try it again. Our next, then the bottom comes over. All right, so the next cube, I'm going to draw the left side first because that's the easiest one to see. And in this case, it's the only one that I can see the entire side. Now I can see the top and the top, the right side, and I draw it down till I intersect the cube in front of it. Now let's draw the front cube. So there is the left side, the top, the right side top edge, and coming down to the right side, and then the bottom. Okay, so those are my 3 cubes. Everything else, oh, I forgot to put that one in right there. Everything else is a hidden line in here. So I can come in and add my hidden line markers. I still do this from the back and work forward so that I don't miss any one of the cubes. I'm going to do this. And if it helps you, you can do this in a different color pen or a different color pencil so that you can actually determine which pieces go to which cube. I'm going to have a lot of overlapping lines in here. So now this is the second cube. From the back, the bottom comes across, and lift that off the footprint just a hair so that you can see that easily. It's all right if it's staggered just a little bit. All right, so there's the second cube. Now let's do the third cube. And the back line. And the back line. And then the hidden line from the front. And a hidden line from the corner. And now let's do the front cube. And you can see I'm just lifting that off a little bit from the footprint. So they don't get confused. And this is the final solution for this particular exercise. Now, one of the things that helps a little bit, again, it's very, very confusing, but if we just take our pencil and shadow a little bit the front faces of each cube, it will help to separate and give you an opportunity to kind of see the front of each cube. Because when you get all the lines in here, sometimes it can be very difficult to see exactly where every one of these 4 cubes are. This may be an opportunity for you to be able to see each one of those cubes by highlighting that front face. Sometimes it takes us a little while to kind of be able to see. I'm just going to do this one quickly. Doesn't have to be pretty, but you can see how it helps to distinguish 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes. Now the other part in here that we need to understand and that's happening within this space is each one of these cubes are exactly the same size, but because they're lined up in a row, they're diminishing. So they're getting smaller and smaller, and they're getting closer and closer together. This is the visual process of foreshortening. And this is where we can tell if something is forward or backwards. This is very similar to when you're driving on the freeway and you can see the telephone poles along the side of the road, and the ones that you're next to are very, very tall, and the ones that are far away that you can see in the distance are very small. We know that they're all the same size, but visually, as they go further and further back, the process of foreshortening makes them smaller and smaller and smaller. I hope you had a good time with this exercise, and I'll see you for the next worksheet.